Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to cut right to the chase here. Rich Clayton. So Rich called me. So Rich is the guy that I did the motorcycle ride to Park City with for our approach. I spent 2 weeks with him in Italy this past summer. It's how we got to know each other a lot better. And Rich, I'm going to let you give all the professional, like, I don't know how long you've been in the business. I know a long time because you're old, but the, uh, just share, where you are, who you're with, and what you're doing. And then we just had a conversation the other night that made me want to, like, dude, this is so exciting. And then it ties in a lot with a business approach that Christine has always taken, but this was like presented a way that made me go like, wow, this is amazing. So Rich, take it away. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
And
my pleasure.
we owe you dinner. So
No, no worries, dude. You've done enough for me. I appreciate you. Hey everyone, thank you for having me on your call today. I'm honored to be here, be in front of a group of just listening to you guys. I love hearing about the wins and the losses, the gratitude and the activity you're doing. And I'm sure you all listen to one another, and it kind of motivates, and it helps you all like be better on your game. And I have two asks of Dave for you today. Number one is, you talked about wins and losses. Like, I believe in celebrating our wins and not focusing on our losses, right? Because where we focus our time, we create the activities that create results. And we don't want to spend a whole lot of time on our losses. And like, I'm in the trenches with you every day. I lost a big deal, and I'm like calling up my business partner going, I worked on this thing for 9 months, 23 pre-approvals, Saturday night, got him, fully underwritten pre-approval, and I lost the deal at the last minute. And what he does, he makes me turn over an hourglass. So what we did is we sent out a 60-second hourglass to every one of our LOs. And when you have a loss, you got to turn over that hourglass. We call it a 60-second funeral. There you go. You got 60 seconds to bitch and complain and fucking swear your head off. But after that, you got to switch your mindset and move into positive thinking activities.
dude, I love it.
The second I ask for Dave is, next time you ask me to come on and be with your team, I think you'd have a little bit of respect and at least wear my Patriots hat that I gave you.
Dude. That's,
despite us
why
being
you were laughing.
9.
You were laughing when Haber brought up the Broncos because I know how shitty the Patriots are still doing.
Yeah,
I don't even know if Belichick's going to be. I don't even know if Belichick's
welcome to life without a good quarterback, Rich. Enjoy the next 20 years, bud.
I'm not used to this. I don't really know how it feels, but now I do.
It's torture.
No, we had a great run for 20 years. So again, Dave, thanks for the introduction. Rich Clayton, I live here in Massachusetts. Been in the business about 20 years. In a prior life, I was a mechanical engineer and a product development. Started 3 different companies, sold one of them, fell into the mortgage industry literally by accident. Said I was going to try it for a year. First year in the business, I made just under $200,000 and I was hooked. Love real estate, love finance, love working with people, love moving the needle in people's lives, love working with first-time home buyers. I got the bug and bought up a whole bunch of investment properties. I just love everything regarding real estate and, helping people kind of change their life, moving the needle in their life. And, that's why I've stayed in the business for 20 years and, I'll die in the business. So I'm never going to do anything else. I love it. Prior to 2019, I'd always been $120 million producer on my own personal production. Started a broker shop, Onto Mortgage, back in July of 2019. By 2021, we were fully correspondent. We up to about 52 employees. About half of those were LOs. We didn't cut quick enough and we didn't cut deep enough in 2022. And we ended up rolling up under a big national lender, 47 states, has a staying power, has a net worth, and be able to operate as Onto Mortgage as a DBA. So, I co-manage a division here in Massachusetts. We've got offices mostly on the East Coast, from Florida to Maine. And I have jumped back into production. About 95% of my activities today are about generating leads for my own business. So with that said, I'm going to close just under 20 million this year. It's the lowest closing year I've had in 21 years.
What's your average loan amount up there, Rich?
Average loan amount's about 500, 510.
Okay.
So 100 million, you're probably talking, what's that? 200 loans on average in a year. 2021, we were doing 450. Worse years, I'll do 150, 170 loans. So this year, only doing like whatever it is, 50 loans. I really excited to get back into it, make it rain, become a loan officer, and drive the volume in the door. And what I did about a month and a half ago is I put on my engineering hat. I started reverse engineering like where my business comes from and where do I want to spend my time, right? There's only 24 hours in the day. I sleep for about 6 of it. I like to have a little bit of downtime. So if I'm working 6, 8, 10, 12 hours a day, like I want to be really effective and really efficient with my time. So what I did is I went back and I looked at where my referrals came from over the last couple of years. And there's different buckets. You got your referral partners, you got your finance sphere of influence, your financial planners, CPAs, divorce attorneys, insurance, what have you. You've got friends and family, and you got past clients. That's probably where 95% of my business comes from. And I started identifying the list of real estate agents. I probably got over the last 2 years, 80 referrals from real estate agents. But when I really broke it down and looked at the numbers, 80% of my business comes from a whole handful of real estate agents that I do 1 or 2 deals with a year. And then a very small group of real estate agents, the ones that, know, love, and trust me. I talk to them once a week, and we do a lot of stuff together. We're really friends. These are people that I actually enjoy being with. It's the 90-10 rule, 10% or even 5% of my real estate agents account for 80 to 90% of my business. So, I looked at the disparity between the top 10%, the next 10%, the middle 70%, and then the bottom 10%, and realized I really need to be focusing most of my time and my efforts and my energy on the top 10%. But the top 10% were really about 3 to 4, maybe 5 agents. And what I identified was my top 3 referring me 30, 35 clients a year. So, something went off in my head and said, well, what if I had 10 people referring me 35 clients a year, and I were to convert half of those, that's 180 transactions in a year from 10 different referral partners. I thought, that's what I want to do. Like, it's really the deep game and not the width game. Now, I've been doing this for 21 years. So, I have the opportunity to go deep with my agents instead of having gone, the width game. Just coaching a loan officer on my team last week, she just got in the business 6 months ago. So she's got to do the width game because she needs to meet people. But, being in the business 5, 10, 20 years, I realized that going the depth route is where I'm going to get the best bang for my buck. So what I did is I sat down one day and said, okay, what are the things that I do with my top 3 real estate agents that really helps me generate the 30, 35 transactions a year or referrals? And what can I do to replicate that and duplicate that? So I threw out a white piece of paper and I started, jotting down what those activities might look like if I were to create a partner, a true partner. So what I created was the real estate agent partnership program. And, I determined that it's going to be 8 to 10 real estate agents, geographically spread out around Massachusetts. So one near Boston, one in the middle of the state, Metro West, North Shore, South Shore, Cape Cod, or whatever. I've identified 8 to 10 geographic areas, if you will, radiuses or circumference, whatever, towns. And I'm going to identify the 8 to 10 real estate agents that I want to do my business with. So I've identified 7 of them so far. I've approached 4 of them, gone out and had a couple dinners with them and said, here's what I'm looking to do with you. I'm looking to go really deep. I'm looking to help you grow your business. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to form a partnership. In that partnership, it's as if the 2 of us were building a company together. The company is split up between real estate and lending or finance. I'm going to handle the lending side. You're going to handle the real estate side. And we're going to work together as a team to build our respective business or businesses. And we're going to do significantly more volume than if we were to do this alone. And I usually get kind of yeah, that sounds good. Tell me more about it. So what I did is I started jotting down an outline of what this might look like. And I'm just going to go through this. And you don't have to take notes. I'm going to send Dave this in an email so you have it. It's a Word document so you can add to it, subtract to it, cross it out, use it however you want to. So I sat down with my first agent. This is about a month ago. A guy that I know, he's in South Shore, Boston. He does about 80 transactions a year. 90% of those are listings, but it's somebody that I really want to align with. And I've only done one transaction with them in the past because I was, one of 5 names that he handed out. And if I was, speed to lead, quick enough to call that client and try to convince him in 3 to 5 minutes to use me, then I got the transaction. But it was never really a relationship. It was never really a partnership.
5 names.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I work for EXP. We get like bullshit. And I'll
Yeah.
tell you 9 reasons why you don't want to give out 5 names. But so I sat down with him over dinner and we got through the niceties, the chit chat, and he talked about this partnership. And I said, here are some of the things we're going to do if you're in for this. And if you're not, good. We had a great steak and we'll maybe have a beer together someday down the road. I'll send you a referral. Maybe you'll send me one. Well, we'll just be friends at the end of the day. But if this is something that you want to, really go deep with, and I'm your guy, I'd like to know about it by the time we're done with this dinner. So I told him, here's what we're going to do. My idea in this grand scheme of things is we're going to have weekly Zoom calls. We're going to talk about we're going to alternate topics. We're going to talk about strategy. We're going to talk about tactics. We're going to talk about accountability, like showing up powerfully for one another. Because what we're doing is we're building a company together. And we want to make sure that we're holding each other accountable for the things that we both declared that we're going to do in that week. So weekly Zoom calls. We're going to agree to do monthly in-person calls, whether it be steak dinner, going out fishing on my boat, hitting the golf course, going and doing a fun activity, going racing go-karts at F1. Like we're going to get together and we're just going to have a great time together. We're going to talk a little bit about our business, but we're going to get to know one another on a very, very intimate level because, we're business partners. We're in business together. Like we gotta like be rowing in the same direction. We're gonna do some business planning, especially this time of year. Like this starts in October, November, December for 2024. So we're gonna talk about vision boards. We're gonna talk about business plans. We're gonna talk about goal setting. We're gonna talk about setting up our calendar with our weekly meetings and our monthly in-persons and all the different tasks and activities that we're gonna commit to over the next 12 months to make sure that we hit our goals and we at least increase our business by 50% over what we did in the prior year. We're going to talk about co-branding with HomeBot. I think it was Jacqueline or somebody mentioned, doing HomeBot like that. That's a showstopper, guys. That's a no-brainer. Your real estate agents should be using a HomeBot or something, Home IQ or, doing the co-branding. I've got an 87% open rate. I'm able to go back to past clients. I send more referrals to real estate agents as a result of HomeBot than I do any other strategy that I use. And, we're on the enterprise edition. It costs me a couple $100 a month. I've got a whole bunch of agents that are on it and I'm signing up about 1 every 2 weeks that are, looking to co-brand with me and keep top of mind with their clients. So I think HomeBot is one of those things that's a no-brainer. Database management, how are they utilizing their CRM? Do they even have a CRM?
Mostly don't. Mostly they don't, right?
Most of them don't. It's amazing. I tried to get a guy that I do about 10 transactions a year with onto HomeBot, and he said, I don't have a database. I don't have a list of my clients. And he probably does a third of his deals because of me and HomeBot saying, you need to reach out to this person because they're looking for a CMA. And he says to me, hey, do you have their phone number? What's their email address? He literally doesn't have a database. So I'm going to help him grow his.
Do you have their phone number?
It's unbelievable. He asked me for his client's phone number. So, talking about database management and helping them actually utilize their database to create, lead gen, lead capture. What are they doing at their open houses? If they're even doing open houses, are they using a curb here? Are they using WISP? Are they using QR codes? Are they giving things of value at their open house? Open house strategies. Are they doing a friends and family VIP half-mile radius around the house, bringing in champagne, bringing in somebody playing the guitar, bringing in a band, like doing something different that the neighborhood sees and recognizes you as, hey, I'm thinking about listing my house in the next 6 months, a year, 2 years. Like, I think you're the team that I want to utilize. So
let me stop you real quick right there, because that was a really insight. When you said that, we don't really invest in listing agents, helping listing agents get listings. I've never done that. That's, at least I don't. And maybe some of you guys have done that, but that's something that I think was really impactful, because it's like, well, I don't want to help you get listings. If you get a listing, let me know if you want to buy a house, I'll do the loan. But it's like, dude, if I'm invested in helping him get listings, I'm going to do more business. And it's crazy to not take that approach. I really thought that was great. I don't mean to interrupt you. That was just a really impactful thing that you said. So keep going.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, not at all. Thanks for jumping in on that. You know, I've always had this mindset, you know, we're a downstream referral. Our attorneys are title companies, if you're a title state, it's a downstream referral. You're not able to give back to your real estate agents the same amount of volume they give us. So what you need to do is you need to help them grow their business in other ways. And I literally just got off the call with a team prior to this Zoom. And, you know, the real estate agent said, well, Rich, I probably send you 30 referrals a year. You probably only sent me 2 last year. And I said, I'm glad you brought that up. Last year, you did how many transactions? She said, I did about 38 transactions. And I said, because we work together, as a result of that, you do 55 transactions and I don't give you one of those referrals, you give a shit that I didn't give you a referral. She goes, no, I could care less. So that's the point, is if you can create enough value to help your business partner do more volume, they're not looking at it as a 1-for-1 reciprocity. They're saying,
and I think that's how we've always looked at it. I certainly have.
Yeah. So like partnership is really the key word here. You know, they're your partner, you're their partner. You need to help them grow their business. And it might not be by giving them one referral. It's helping in their business and get better every day. And if you double their business, they don't give a shit that you didn't give them one referral throughout the year. At open house, you know, I don't believe meaning a listing agent, has the right to ask somebody for their phone number, their address, their email, their cell phone, and then go bother them after, unless you give them something of value. So at the open house, I ask all my real estate agents, what do you give of value? They don't give shit at the open house. Like, they use the open house to try to get more listings or more buyers, but the open house is not about selling the house. For me, the open house is about creating value for the team. So what I'm setting up is I'm going to be using Upwork. I'm about halfway done with it. Is creating like a personal budget, and we're going to have a little QR code on a plaque that says, if you want to copy my lender's personal budget, just click this QR code, and we're going to send it to you. If you want our first-time home buyer guide and it's co-branded with me and the real estate agent, click on the QR code. You want to do a buy versus rent analysis on your unique situation, click on the QR code. You want to learn more about building wealth through investing in real estate, click on the QR code. If you give somebody something of value, then you have the right to ask them for their information and then drip on them and build up, you know, more deals that way. You know, a couple guys I work with, EXP Realty. EXP, I don't know if you guys have much.
Yeah, we have them
out there.
Yeah.
You know, they're a pyramid scheme. They can make a ton of money from their downline. So what I do is I offer to go in there and do training and coaching around how we're going to help them recruit. I'm helping them grow their business, but I'm also helping them grow their downline. So we're going to go in, we're going to train real estate agents in their general vicinity and basically say, I'd rather join them than compete with them. So it's kind of like, you know, showing them all the game film of what you do and showing them how to be a better agent. So maybe they come join your team. So there's a lot of strategies and tactics around that. We do have a group of VIP agents that we do a program called Onto More. It's a by invite only. We've invited about 70 agents that participate every month, and we provide something of value that is not offered to other agents. But the 8 or 10 agents that are doing these partnership programs with me, they're going to be automatically included with the Onto More program. And in the Onto More program, besides monthly assets that we give them the value to help them in their business, we also provide by a woman here in the East. Her name's Anita Hill. She does CE classes. Every real estate in Massachusetts agent knows Anita Hill and loves her, migrates to her. So we pay her 4 times a year to do CE classes. And we usually have a couple hundred agents show up every quarter for those events. And, you know, they need 8 CE classes. We want to be the one that gives them all 8 of the CEs throughout the year. So we have rolled out a client.
Go ahead. I was going to ask you a question, but go ahead.
Okay. We rolled out a client for life initiative. You know, there's 3 components to what we do in mortgages. There's the before unit, the during unit, and the after unit. And a lot of loan officers drop the ball on the after unit. So what we've done is we put together a program that says day of closing, day after closing, 3 days, a week, 2 weeks, a month, quarter, 6 months, a year, and then continuum. What are we going to do to continuously add value to that client? And we send them a couple gifts throughout the year and a couple notes and introductions and ways them to protect their asset, insure their asset, help them build, equity, and just make sure that you're always providing value to your clients week after week, month after month, year after year. Because if you're not getting 3 referrals from every past client, you're not doing it right. Now, I've got 1,400 clients that are active in my database. I've probably done 4,000 transactions. But of those 1,400, about 10% of them refer me 2 to 3 times a year. I'm trying to get up to 25%, 30%, 40%. And the only way you're going to do that is by creating value and staying top of mind, that every time they hear the word real estate, they remember and they think of your name.
And helping realtors understand how to take advantage of that would be such a value add for them. Oh my God.
Yeah. The reason I brought that up is we do that on the mortgage side, but it's coaching and showing real estate agents how they can do that on their side. Because every agent should get 3 referrals from their past client as well. And I ask them every time, if you were to even get 2 referrals from 50% of your past clients every year, what would that do for your business? It would 5 times their business. So let's say you really screw up and you only get 20% of that. You double a real estate agent's business. They're not handing out 5 business cards ever again. Client appreciation events. My top 3 agents do 3 to 5 client appreciation events a year. And we co-sponsor it. We have the attorney, myself, real estate agent. You can bring in your home inspectors. You can bring in your insurance people. You can bring in financial planners. Like, you don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars. For every event I do, it costs me about $300 to $500. I do 3 to 5 of these with my top 3 agents, and it creates business for the real estate agent. Again, Dave, to your point, I might not directly get a referral out of that client appreciation event, but if I help my real estate agent get 3 more listings or 2 more buyers as a result of it, then I'm getting all the referrals from every different medium and every avenue and every marketing event they're doing, because I'm helping them grow their business. Next is the affinity programs. It's getting the team together, closing attorney, real estate agent, lender, and creating a package, something of value that you can go into what I call a medium-sized company, not less than 50 employees, not more than 250, and actually creating a benefit for their HR department, where you're going to go in there as their home buyer team. You're going to bring the 3 people that are going to basically be the team for the client, and you're going to offer discounts, usually upwards of about $2,500 to $3,000. Discounts on title. I give a free appraisal. The real estate agent does, money off their fees, or, a home warranty or whatever. It usually comes out to about $2,500 to $3,000. And you put together a nice little package, maybe a 1 sheet. You sit down with the HR department. The HR department loves it because it's a benefit they can offer all their employees. It makes them look good, and it doesn't cost them a dime, and you get business out of it as a result of it.
We call that, we have a program, it's called Zenith at Work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's cool.
Second,
It's just a different, but what you're talking about is a completely different approach to using it and leveraging it.
Yeah, we should definitely, compare notes on that. Second to last is second tier sphere of influence referral partners. Years ago, we created a playbook. It was a 65-page home buyer guide. It basically, it looked like it came from the real estate agent. We branded it for the real estate agent. The top cover, the inside page, the inside cover had my information and the attorney's information. It had some business card slots for the whole home buyer team, inspectors, insurance, what have you. 65 pages of, step-by-step home buyer guide. And then in the back of the book were business card holders for their sphere of influence, that they would basically create meetings, go out, be with their sphere, say, I really want to introduce you to all my clients. I want to put you in my book. So every time I talk to a client, your card is going to be in the book, and you're going to get business as a result of it. And it worked the best with the financial sphere, the financial planner, the CPA, the estate, throw divorce attorneys in there right now because we're getting a lot of business from them, and insurance. You know, I call those the finance sphere. They're also the trusted advisor. They're also, for the most part, the annuity program, right? When you, a real estate agent, give a lead to a financial planner and they land that client, they get paid that year, next year, and every year that they keep that client. So referrals to financial planners or CPAs or tax accountants, those are huge, valuable referrals because they're going to refer their book of business to you. And if they've got 400 or 500 people in their book, people move every 10 years. That's 40 to 50 referrals that you should be getting every year from that professional. So I show them how to network and create value with their finance sphere to be able to generate more referrals. And that's, again, it's not referrals that I'm giving them, but if I can generate 20 or 30 referrals to my real estate agent, I look like a freaking hero. And then the last, because an agent's doing it right now, is list reports. You know, just getting off this call, a couple other things we talked about is I used to do real estate agent masterminds, getting 8 to 10 real estate agents from different parts of the state in a room for 4 hours, provide lunch, and basically send out a questionnaire and talk about what are the 3 things you're good at? What are the 3 things you want to learn more about? Well, I'm going to bring back the real estate agent mastermind with this group of 8 to 10 agents that I'm going really deep with. So they get the whole idea of utilizing network outside of their region. You know, some agents today only work in one specific town. You know, because of the nature of the game today, a lot of agents are like, I'll travel 50 miles because I haven't done a deal in, you know, 3 weeks. So that's changing a little bit, but being able to rely on that network of 8 to 10 top professionals in my marketplace, you know, they give a referral, they get 25 basis points. So, you know, making that helping them create that network of referral partners, just keeping it very incestuous, just keeps you top of mind. And then, you know, teaching some of the younger agents how to go be with legacy partners, you know, these agents that have been doing it for 35, 40 years. They want to get out of the business. They want to go sit on a beach. They want to do something else, but they don't want to give up the revenue stream. So it's coaching them and training them to bring these people on as business partners and then phase them out over a 3 to 7 year period and basically doubling their business with their clientele base. So, you know, again, tip of the iceberg, we're adding to this every week. I've had 4 meetings with 4 agents that I've identified as top agents that I want to work with. I like them. I want to spend time with them. I want to help them grow their business, whether it be 50%, 100%, or 200%. And so far, all 4 of them have said to me, this is the most amazing thing I've ever heard. I'm honored that you brought this to me. I am so on board. What do we need you to get it started? Rick Murray, the first guy that I approached, about a month and a half ago, we came out of the restaurant. We spent about 4 hours together.
I love this story.
We came out and he goes, Rich, dude, I've been doing this for 35 years. And I'll be honest with you, I've never seen anything like this. I've never heard of anything like this. You've got me so jigged up and so excited to partner up with you and just crush our business together. Like I'm in with 2 feet. Like this is an exclusive relationship. I'm never handing out 2 names. I'm handing out your name. I know you're going to help me grow my business. And do you mind if I give you a hug? I'm like, yeah, shit, bring it in. And we just embraced each other in the parking lot of Legal Seafoods. And we got in the car and he even texted me on the way home. He's like, dude, I am so fired up to work with you. Like, this is going to change my life. And I realized I had touched upon something that is just really powerful. And I went ahead and had 3 more meetings with 3 more agents. I've got 4 of my 8 to 10 on board. And we've already set up, you know, when our weekly calls are going to be, when our monthly meetings are going to be. And we're getting going with business planning. We're all at a little bit different levels because a couple of these I started 6 weeks ago. And one I just nailed down an hour before or 15 minutes before I get on this call. So, you know, it's another strategy in going really deep.
I'll tell you why I love this strategy, guys, is that you're not really going to compete with a bunch of other loan officers for this because you're not trying to get when you think about going out and getting real estate agent relationships, I'm telling you, this is how I've always felt. It's like, man, everybody's trying to get all the same agents and everything else, because yeah, we're all saying and selling the same shit. And so, so this is not that. This is, and everybody's going to do it a little bit differently. You're not all going to have the same partnership package, right? You're all going to have a little bit of a different, I mean, we can copy each other, and we should copy each other because there's no competition. You're not, Chris isn't going to call on the same agent Jessica's going to call on. She's just not, like, because we don't do that here. So it's you, and you only need 8 to 10. And so that's what I really like about it is that, and then all of the other business that you're going to get with all the affinity partnerships and all of the like the Zenith at Work opportunities, the database opportunities, everything else, this changes. This just comes down to the people with the most friends wins. And you're leveraging, if 10 realtors know 300 people, that's a 3,000 person database. That's all you need. And with all of the business opportunities that represents, that's why I think this is so exciting. So I shared this with Ryan Pettigrew the next morning. We were having breakfast and Ryan's like, holy shit. And then I shared it with, I don't know who else I shared it with, Jacqueline. I can't remember. Casey, did we talk about this? Yeah. And Casey's like, this is great. And so, and it's really what we've always done, but just never gone this deep. And what I like about it, I said, I call it the Jerry Maguire program. For those of you, I fucking told Ryan that he's never seen the movie. And so the Jerry, I know, that's what I said. And I said, it's the Jerry Maguire program. It's fewer clients, more personalized service. There's a line in there that says fewer clients, less money, more personalized service, but it's not about less money. Fewer clients, more personalized service. And when you sit down, I really feel strong that if you sit across from a real estate agent, and you have that conversation, like, dude, you know what? You probably feel a little bit like I do, get tired of all the lenders calling you. And I honestly, I'm a lender and I get tired of calling all the real estate agents. And I just realize I'm chasing my tail, trying to get as much business as I can get. And what I really want to do is work with somebody that I can respect and trust, and who respects and trusts me, that we can become lifelong friends and I can really help you. I really want to help you. And I have all these things that I know how to do. And Jonathan, don't feel like Jessica, don't feel like I haven't been doing this very long. I don't know if I have as much to offer. Yes, you do, because you have all of the stuff that we do here now that you can, like, oh, okay, I know how to do that. You don't have to be in the business. I don't want to make you think you got to be in the business 20 years before you can offer that level of value. You don't. And so, that's what's so exciting. So we got business planning, and I'm not trying to cut this off. I want you guys to, let's go to the top of the hour. You can tell how excited I am about it. What questions do you have for Rich? Just Q&A. Go.
Rich, for that first meeting, are you just reviewing more of your kind of what we call like menu of services? Are you guys going over what their goals are? Like, how are you getting them so invested? Because I feel like this also pertains to making it more tailored to each agent, right? Each agent's going to have a little bit different needs. So how are you making them excited in that first meeting?
Yeah, great question. So the first meeting, we don't go deep at all. You know, it's 10,000 foot level. Like, you know, I sat down with Lynn and Tim today, actually last week for dinner, right before Thanksgiving. I said, hey, listen, thanks for joining me for dinner. And I want to share with you a great opportunity that I think is going to really move the needle in your business. And I call it the Real Estate Agent Partnership Program. And I kind of give them 10,000 foot level. Like, I've identified in my business that it's more important for me to go deep with 8 to 10 agents than to go wide. And I think it can benefit both of us. And I give them kind of an outline, a framework of what it looks like. And again, this is after the whole niceties, like, you know, how was your Thanksgiving? How are your kids? Blah, blah, blah. You know, 10, 15 minutes of that. And then, you know, kind of talking about the overall opportunity. And, you know, I'll check in with them. Like, what do you think about that? I'm like, well, explain this to me again. And I said, well, this is like, it's geographic, and, you know, we're going to pick like a radius of 10 miles around where you work, or towns, and we'll pick maybe 8 or 10, and it's going to be an exclusive relationship. And I let them ask questions and shoot some holes in it. And then once I get them kind of thinking like, yeah, I want to hear more about this. I'm like, all right, well, here's kind of a rough outline that I put together. And what we're going to do is if this is something that you want to do and you're committed to it and I'm committed to it, is we're gonna drill down on each item and say, no, don't want to do that. Yeah, definitely want to do that. Have you thought about doing this? And like, we're gonna create it custom for us. Like, there's no one size shoe fits all.
Mm.
And it's really, kind of 10,000 foot level, showing them the opportunity. What I want to do by the end of dinner is I don't need their commitment then, because I want them to go off and I want them to think about it. Think about the dinner that we had, 2.5, 3 hours we spent together, the things I said, and see if what they're doing is any better than what I'm proposing. And so far, I'm 4 for 4. That guy, Rick, on the spot in the parking lot, he goes, I'm in, I'm committed, I'm your guy, let's go. I want to start tomorrow morning. The other 3, I gave them the out. I said, you know what? I don't want an answer from you today. I want you to take the weekend, take the week. Let's schedule a call next Friday. I want you to think about it. I want you to gather your thoughts, questions you didn't think about when we were at dinner. I want you to come back and let me know. And I just did that this morning, because I had dinner about a week and a half ago with this team of 2. I said, what are your questions? And they came up with some really great questions, and I addressed them all. And there was one that I said, you know what? I don't have an answer for that, but you know what? We're 2 bright, intelligent people. We're going to figure it out. So let's assume that we figure that out. Is there anything else that's getting in the way of you doing this? Now, his business partner, she's actually getting out of the business. She's a little older, and he's a little bit younger. He's in his mid-30s. And she said, Tim, this is something that you need to do. And Tim's like, I'm on board. Like, what do we need to do to get started? So it was a 2-day close. Whereas the first guy was, right there and then. And we've been doing this now for about 6 weeks. We've been having weekly meetings, and we've just been getting into it. So I would recommend 10,000 foot level. You don't need to close it that first meeting. Let them go back and think about it. And I can guarantee you, your competition is not doing this. So they can go back and say, well, I can try to do this alone, or I can align my wagon with this guy who, this guy knows his shit. I want to attach my wagon to this guy. And like I said, I'm 4 for 4, and I'm pretty confident that I'll go 10 for 10.
Yeah, I think you will too. Go ahead, Jessica. You raised your hand.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, there's so many times when I'm meeting with realtors and I can just see that they're a hot mess. Like, they don't have a CRM, they're not focused on their marketing, they don't check their home bot, they don't know the questions, or they don't have their scripts together. Like, their mental health is terrible, they have bad boundaries, like, they're just a mess, and you can tell. And I feel like I don't have the opportunity at the moment to really give them feedback, but this is gonna, if they align and we're partners, I feel like this is gonna really open the door for us
I was just gonna say, you get
have that
to open the
exchange.
door. Yeah.
Yeah, it's opening the door for us to actually say, like, hey, I do have a resource for you related to this, and I'm not like being pushy or bossy or offering to help where I'm not like open door to offer to help. So I think, like, we do have a lot of assets here to help them, and they really do need us. And I prefer to build deep relationships with people. Like, this 100 people with all of their lives, and trying to help 100 people's lives all the time is so much to hang on to. But I could really invest in 10 people and be there for every celebration and be there for every big
right. You become family friend, like family.
Yeah.
Like, this is a relationship that's going to last for 20 or 30 years. Think about how cool that sounds and feels. That just feels good to me. Like, when I hear that, I was like, God, that would have been so fun to do it like that. And so I would guess that most real estate agents think that we're just trying to get 100 realtors.
Right.
And so they're like, yeah, you're going to help me grow my business. Yeah, right. I'll call you, you won't call me back, or you'll be late, or you won't respond to my email. It's what everybody does, because what they're used to from everybody else. You're talking about changing that whole paradigm.
Yeah, you want to create a long-lasting trust relationship with a human being. Help them. And in this case, help them grow their business. I used to sit down with real estate agents when I thought it was the wide game and try to get 200 of them. And my first meeting was all about, like, I never talked about me. I didn't even talk about mortgages. I didn't talk about programs. We don't talk about price. We don't talk about rates. We don't talk about closing a deal in 21 days. It was all about them, uncovering context in their business. And I always try to find something that's important to them. And my follow-up was always be to send them something concrete about our conversation, because it touched them in their heart. And, you know, been doing this for a long time. I've really realized that the relationships with the people that I'm getting 30 to 40 referrals from a year, these are my friends. These are people I do things with constantly, the things I want to be with. And, you know, years ago, it was about 5 years ago, I fired about 20 agents. And what I meant by that was, like, when an agent called me on my cell phone and I looked at the number and I went, oh, this guy's calling me again. That's not a partner. That's somebody you
happens
need
to
to
me.
say, you know
That
what,
happens
I'm
to
not
me
the
with
right guy for you.
that happens to me with loan officers. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it happens to all of us. But, you know,
I feel like this. I go, oh, great.
the scarcity mindset is, I got to go jump through hoops for this person. The abundance mindset, it says, you know what, I'm not the right person for you. Finding the 8 to 10 people that are going to refer you 35 people a year, that's all you need. And you can be making $500,000 a year.
So let me I just realized something, and I would love to ask Jonathan and Ryan and Dean, Jessica, you guys have been prospecting agents, right? Like, you guys are in full on prospecting agent mode all the time. And doesn't this just completely change the paradigm of picking up the phone and calling a realtor that you don't know? It does. For me, it's like, I know that I can freaking help you. And I'd love to meet with you. I'll buy you lunch and I want to sit down and talk to you about what it is I'm trying to do, because it's just a different, I don't know how that script would read, but that's a completely different conversation in my mind than the one we've been having, the one that we've trained you to have. So Dean, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, I'll say real quick. I agree. Sorry, Dean. Just
Okay.
that, like, we're all playing this wide game right now. Like, I've been at these open houses meeting, 100+ realtors, and yeah, it's hard to find where that personal connection is in that next follow-up meeting. Because I do want to tell these people, yeah, I want to help you build your business. I want to become lifelong friends, but it does feel less genuine after saying it 100 times, right? So where's that delineation of, when do I stop casting that wide net? When do I shrink it down, fire the agents that aren't working for me, and vice versa? So yeah, I think it's a great way to kind of shift the mindset, Rich. Sorry, Dean.
No, you're good. You're good. That was good. Dean, go ahead.
Hey, so Rich, great stuff. I've got 4 pages of notes. So you've been doing this a really long time. These 8 to 10 that you're going to get in business with, you know them, right? Like, you have at least had some business with them in the past, right?
Yeah, so 2 of them are agents I've been working with for 15 to 20 years, and they literally do everything with me. They never give out 2 names. Matter of fact, they tell their clients, you need to work with Rich or I can't work with you. And I told them, you can't say that anymore. But that's how close of a relationship that we have. I talk to them every week. There's days I talk to them 5 times a week. And, then the next 2, like, it really drops off. And then the next 7 or 6 are like people that I might get 3 referrals from a year, but they're good people. I like them. They do a really good business. There's somebody that I could be in a partnership with. We just haven't gotten to that level in our relationship yet. And they're still giving out 4 names. But I can tell you, this guy, Rick, the first one I approached, he used to give out 5 names. And I blew him away. He's never going to give out 2 names again.
So, and you say that you're going to do an exclusive relationship with them, but you're doing it with 8 to 10.
Yeah. So
How do you address that? Like, if I went and told a realtor, hey, I want to do an exclusive partnership with you, and then they realize I'm doing this with everybody, like 8, 10 more people, then
Well,
are they all part of a group? Like, is that kind of your mastermind group? Like, these 8 to 10 that you're getting deep with?
The exclusivity piece is, when you have a referral for a lender, they all go to me.
Okay.
You're going to pick a geographic area, probably your town, and then surrounding within a certain radius. So I've identified, basically, I've chunked Massachusetts into 10 groups.
Okay.
And when there's overlap, if I give them a referral, or we I give them a referral in Metro West, and the person ends up buying in the North Shore, that's still their deal. Like, it doesn't fall over into the person in the North Shore because it started with them. They can give the referral to the person in the North Shore and get a referral fee, but that client is owned by them. And I've yet to have one of the 4 agents say to me, well, if I'm exclusive to you, you need to be exclusive to me. And they understand I can't do that.
Okay. And then the other part of my question is, you go to dinner, you have this conversation, and you're going to jump into this relationship. It feels a little bit like going on a first date and getting married. How do you build that into, because I think if I'm just first meeting someone, and I do love the value piece of it, I think that's the direction I've been going with folks, is how can I add value to your business?
Yep.
How do you set that up? How do you set that up that they go, yeah, this is it. Yeah, I want to go build my business with you, that I don't really know who you are.
Dean and Rich, to give you some context, Dean's a little bit newer. I mean, he's been in sales a long time. He's worked here for about 2.5 years now, and just started going out. We were using him in the sales management role because he ran sales for a copier company and a software company before that. So he's just now getting out there and meeting real estate agents, he's making progress. He's getting leads, he's getting deals, but that's why it's a little bit different conversation than, he doesn't have your depth of relationship longevity to rely on.
Yeah, this is not a first meeting. I just met you. We just did a deal together. You were the listing agent, and I'm sitting down with you talking about a partnership program, because I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
Like, these are people that I'm going to want to basically get into bed with, metaphorically speaking. What you're doing, there's a whole other script around that, and it's basically just showing up. And first meeting is basically, tell me about you. I want to know about you, what you've done, how you do it, your business. Like, ask 1,000 questions, uncover a shit ton of context. And at the end of that breakfast or lunch or whatever, you're either going to determine this is somebody that I think there's a future with, or like, we just didn't hit it off. And you thank them for the meeting and, go on your merry way. But that's a different script altogether. That's uncovering context and see if you want to even take that to the next level.
Well, and what I'm thinking too is that you're still going to have, for newer people without the relationship longevity experience to rely on, because Rich knows who he wants to work with. He already likes some of these people a lot. You're going to still have to cast a wide net and meet a lot of realtors. You're going to have to kiss a lot of frogs. You're going to have a lot of cup of cup. Like, you're going to want to figure out, like, do I really want to keep going? But what makes this different is, you have something of real value. And you know how you go to those meetings now and you go like, yeah, it seemed like a good meeting and they said they'd refer me, but I never got anything. And like, yeah, you don't even like them. Like, because if I was going to ask you, you want to go to dinner with that guy? You want to take him to a Bronco game or a Nuggets game or an Avs game? No. It's like, okay, well then why are you trying? Like, you don't even like him. And then he's going to call you at 7:00 on a Saturday and it's going to piss you off because you got to answer the phone.
Hey, Dave, one last thing. I got to jump to a lunch meeting I'm going to be late for here at 12:30. But one last thing I just want to mention. Todd Duncan talks about it. Michael Mayer, if you ever read 7 Levels of Communication, he talks about the triangle of trust. I don't like cold calling any more than anybody else does. And I don't cold call. I don't cold call real estate agents. It's a waste of time. David mentioned everybody knows 300 people. 300 people. Go out to the people that know, love, and trust you and ask them to introduce you to a great real estate agent
that they know, love, and trust.
Planners, CPAs, like, go find 10 or 15 or 20 agents that your friends and family, the close people in your life, are going to introduce you to. And I don't mean here's a name and a number, give them a call, but like, why don't the 3 of us go have lunch together? Like, really truly endorse you, because they know you, they know the agent, and all you're doing is you're closing that triangle. It's a really easy way to find those people quicker than sitting down with 200 agents and go, yeah, I think the guy I met with, number 37 might be a good prospect for this program.
That's a really good idea.
I like the lunch with the person, because
absolutely get the endorsement.
Yeah, because it's not just like,
Rich, I can't
Yeah.
thank you enough. I know you got a jet. Sorry, Jessica. I don't want to cut him out. I don't want to, I really, you're so gracious, and we don't work here. So thank you for doing this, and you don't work here. So thank you very much for your time, dude. I really
pleasure.
appreciate it. Well, you know, I get some more questions. You're going to email me something. I'll share it. And then if it's okay, I'll share your email address, and
Of course.
people can ask you questions, and we can keep learning going. But,
Happy to.
all right, dude. Thank you very much. Say hi to
Thanks,
Lisa.
everyone.
Thank you.
Say hi to Lisa, dude. See you later.
I sure will.
Okay.
Tell her I said hello.
Yeah, I was pretty stoked to do this call, after having that conversation with him, and then just the few conversations that I had with loan officers that I, you know, interacted with still this week. And then, you know, I actually picked up the phone and I called. Christine forwarded me an email that a realtor that she's doing a partnership program with, you know, she put that partnership package together. Another realtor that she works with in the Springs sent the package to another real estate agent they're going to start partnering with in Pueblo, who said, you have to work with Christine. Here's everything she does. I don't say this lightly. She's the best lender that I've ever worked with, blah, 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 blah. Right. And so Christine has put together that entire package of here's all the things I do in my partnership package. Right. Like, and it's really all the things that you already do for the most part. Christine's added sales coaching and leadership coaching, but there's all kinds of ways to create more value. What I thought when I was listening to this today, which could make it a really cool Zenith program, is some sort of an exclusive for the ones that are truly your partners. Now, this isn't like, let's see how many realtors we can get in the room. This is no, I want the realtors that are your partners, the 1, 2, 3, 4, however long it takes you to get to 8 or 10. And we start doing really impactful, value added events for real estate agents that are high level. We spend money, you know, we bring in a big name presenter, either live or online, but live would be cool. We do maybe once a year, we do a really cool event with realtors at a hotel that's really well done. But it isn't like, let's see how many people we can get in the room. It's for these relationships. That would be really fun. So we got business planning next week on Thursday. This has got to be a big focus of this, is start just, you know, brainstorming. He's going to send me his list of things. I started writing. Ryan's taking up all the space in the whiteboard in the conference room with a bunch of ideas that he's had. So this is really exciting. I am super excited and stoked about this. And this ties in really heavily with the work I'm doing on presenting our value package for recruiting. So I'm really stoked about that as well. Anybody have any final thoughts? I know this is 10 minutes after 10. Don't usually go this long, but this is really cool. This has been good.
Let's fucking go.
Let's do it.
Bravo.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Let's
go.
go. Let's get the
rock and roll.
package. Get me a package here.
Let's go. Right
You know
on.
what we
All
need
right.
to do? You know what we need to do though on a side?
Uh-oh.
Your mic's off.
You
Mute.
can't pick it up.
What should we do, Ryan?
You just hit the mic button. You just hit the mic button.
You know, it'd be great.
We don't have fancy mics.
You'd be good if Ryan stops talking. No, you know, it'd be good if we had marketing try and like get something that's more of like a template for us. That is like, here's our partnership program. I'm gonna do it at least, so at least maybe we can try and all pitch in and we can obviously get it customized. But I think it'd be beneficial to like show up with something and be like, here's my new partnership program.
Yeah.
And we'll get this, and then maybe even create one that's like, all right, great. After we review this, we do our second call. Now I'll create, you know, your booklet. Like, this is your.
What I know, and I would love to do that. I would love to collaborate. What I know is you will all want your own eventually. And that's fine. It doesn't bother me. It annoys me, but it doesn't bother me that much. I get it. Because like going, no, mine has to be like this. I
But
need mine.
it's like the sit meeting. It's like the sit meeting. Like, of course, I've taken the sit meeting that
Right,
you had
exactly.
and I've made it mine. But
Yeah.
it would be nice to have like a template. And then
Sure.
also, I think it should be a
Well, I think
flow
for start,
in
I'll make sure-
Salesforce.
I'll make sure Christine's okay with it, but I'm sure she is because she shared it before, but I will send out her partnership package. You guys can get a look at that. That'd be a great place to start. It's a good initial template.
We need to hire somebody who's really good at Canva. Put that
My
on
fiance.
when you hire 40 loan officers and you have a bunch of
Yeah,
money.
there you
I
go.
mean, Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty exciting.
It could be a flow in Salesforce too, like just saying, and also like new realtor flow, like that could be a whole flow. Like
Start
what to-
making notes. These are all good. This is all good.
Yeah, that's why I
Bye.
vomited on the whiteboard. See you later.
See you
Okay, see
guys.
ya. Bye.
Thanks.